Get it going. Okay. All right. Hi, my name is Rob, and I'm an alcoholic. And hey, and welcome to the regular meeting of Constant Vigilance, a group of Alcoholics Anonymous. We will open up this meeting with a moment of silence. Please use it as you wish. This meeting is designed for us to share experience, strengths, and hope with one another and listen to others do the same. Unless this is a critical matter that requires you to monitor your phone, please turn off your phone volume or put it on vibrate. If you need to answer a critical call, please do so outside as to not to disrupt the meeting. Using cell phones at meetings to text or scroll through social media or using any other electronic device gives the impression that you are not giving your full attention to the meeting and are disrespecting the speaker. Please turn off, put away all non-critical electronic devices. Now, this is a regular meeting of Constant Vigilance, group of Alcoholics Anonymous. This is an open meeting and we welcome all visitors, newcomers, regular attendees. We ask that you accept this meeting with an open mind and that all who participate confine their discussions to their problems with alcohol and alcoholism. We would like to emphasize that anything you hear in this meeting other than the items read from AA literature is the opinion of the person speaking and not necessarily that of AA. We urge all newcomers to feel free to ask questions. There is no such thing as a dumb question in AA. Preamble of Alcoholics Anonymous. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength, hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not aligned with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and to help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. Please, somebody read how it works.
Yeah, I'm Steve. All
right, Steve.
How it works, chapter 5, I think, rarely if things versus well, it's really called our path. Those who do not come to people can't give themselves to a simple program. Usually men and women are constitutionally capable of being honest with themselves. They are such unfortunates. They are not told. They seem to be born that way. They are actually capable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our story is closed in a general way. We used to be like, what happened? You decided you want what you have, and you're willing to go to any lengths to get it, then you're ready to take certain steps. And some of these steps we bought, we thought it would find it easy to talk away, but you're not. With the earnestness at our command, we beg you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember, we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, powerful. That help is too much for us. There's one way it's all about, that one is God. We find him now. Half measures avail us nothing. Stood at a turning point. We asked his protection for care, leader bad. Here are the steps we took to suggest that a program recovery. One, we admit we were powerless over alcohol, that our life became unmanageable. Two, came to believe in the power greater than ourselves that could restore us to sanity. Three, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood. Four, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Five, admitted to God, to ourselves, to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Six, we are entirely ready to have God remove these defects and errors. Seven, humbly ask him to remove our shortcomings. Eight, made a list of persons we had harmed, being willing to make amends to them all. Nine, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continue to take personal inventory of when we were wrong, promptly admit it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood, praying for his knowledge and his will for us in the power to carry it out. the spiritual awakening result of these steps, we try to carry this message to other alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Many of us claim what in order can't go through it, do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We're not saints. The point is, we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we have set down are guidelines to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic captures the agnostic and our personal adventures before and after make clear three permanent ideas. A, we were alcoholics and cannot manage our lives. B, there's probably no human power to relieve us of alcoholism. And C, that God could and would be resuscitated.
Thanks, Steve. Can somebody read promises?
John Alcoholic.
Hey, John.
Promises from the ninth step and the big book, promises of Alcoholics Anonymous. If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We're going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. The whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises?
We think not.
We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them. Again, that's on the big book, pages 83 and 84.
Thank you, John. Thank you. That was, my name's Rob. I'm an alcoholic. You know, today's a special day. Today's 888 days without a drink. Yeah, right on the special, 888. So my childhood team was the Dallas Cowboys. My favorite player growing up was Michael Irvin. And prior to that, I guess it was Drew Peterson, word number 88. And now we got C.D. Lamb that seemed like he has a catch of, he can't catch the damn ball, but that's another subject for another day. Yeah, it's 888 days without drinking. You know, it's kind of funny because when I was just sitting right over there, I noticed that nobody bothered to come here. Nobody bothered to step up and say, hey, listen, you know, I'll host. So I was just like, all right, it's 888. That's a good number. Why not? You know what I mean? And tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah. So it's a lot to be thankful for. And the number one thing I'm obviously thankful for is my sobriety. But it's just like I wouldn't be able to be here if it wasn't for number one, God, number two, my mom, number three, my sponsor, and last but not least, you guys. You know, everybody plays a part. It's just funny because it was just like my friend was asking me. He's like, have you noticed any changes about you since you stopped drinking? I'm like, not really. You know, I'm still a prick, but no, it's just that it's not like I just gradually it's not like I just drastically changed and metamorphosed into this brand new person. It's a process. And yeah, I'm more patient now than I used to be. I'm less, what do you call it, impulsive? Yeah, definitely less impulsive. I'm more honest, with myself. Even coming to like this painful, obvious truths about yourself. You know what I mean? When I was drinking, it was just that I was constantly, at first everything was all fine and dandy and fun. Then it just didn't turn into fun anymore because I just couldn't go without it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't allow myself to go without it. And then it just got to the point where it's just like it just became part of my identity. Me and Hennessy, Remy, just anything with alcohol in it, I had to consume it. And then when that happened, then everything else was just pretty much a blur. The only thing I remember is just what the what the police report says. You know what I mean? And that was my pattern from 25 to the age of 40, just constantly finding myself into these situations where I quote unquote don't remember what happened the previous night. The funny thing is my name was Blackout Bailey. I mean, when I got drunk, I just blacked out. And wherever it led to, it just led to. That's a very dangerous way to live, so I had to undergo a couple minor surgeries for getting into fights and getting stabbed. I had to, really, 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 examine my life to a certain, because it was just getting to the point where I just didn't care whether or not if I just lived or died, really. And after I got cut again, I took pictures of it, and I posted it on my social media. And one of my friends from high school reached out to me, and we just started talking. And he informed me that basically his father is a sponsor. But at the time, I just wasn't ready. You know what I mean? I still wasn't ready. I was still in a fog. But it was a great conversation. And 6 months later, I just decided to pick up the phone, and the rest is pretty much history, So it wasn't just like this one specific thing that stopped me from drinking. It was just a body of work. And before I knew it or not, I was pretty much performing some of the steps before I performed the steps, It just obviously meant that my life has become unmanageable. Now that was the first step, most important step. That's the hardest step right there. To admit as a man that you have a weakness over a substance. Because we men, we don't like to admit that we're weak, especially if we street guys, you know what I mean? And then performing what they call a personal inventory. I was doing all of that, just stacking up my body of work. And I just didn't like what the results were. So I said, you know what, in order for me to change the trajectory of my life, I'm gonna have to make a drastic, change. A drastic choice, which inevitably led to a change, which is I had to stop fucking drinking. One, I had to stop. I just had to stop drinking, And once I did that, I started coming to my first meeting. Actually, was in Rosendale. It was very boring, very, very, very boring. And I just was just like, oh my God, I'm about to just explode and just go to the liquor store and just drink like I just wasted my time. But a little voice in my head said, nope, we're not doing that shit. So I went to another meeting. That was okay. I went to a third meeting, and a guy gave me an app, and I put the app in my phone, and I just went on a meeting spree. I went to 3 meetings a day. For the first 90 days, I attended 270 meetings, And I was just all over the state of Massachusetts. And then, lo and behold, I stumbled across here. And my buddy Joe, actually, same year, same class, 2023, he was one of the first guys I saw here. He was quiet as, both of us, quiet as a church mouse. Now look at us. We're hosting meetings, we're going to 12 steps. It's crazy. But yeah, so when I first got here, it was just like I was quiet as a church mouse, as they say, just soaking in all the information, and it was just, like anything else, you just practice and practice and practice. You notice one thing, you just don't drink no matter what and call and ask for help, and that's all I pretty much just do. I just do, and I just don't drink, I do everything in my power not to go to that liquor store, and not to pick up that nip, which inevitably is going to lead to a half a pint, and a half a pint's going to lead to a pint, and a pint's going to lead. I don't play any more of those games. Oh, I'm not going to drink a hard liquor anymore. I'm just going to drink beer. I'm just going to drink wine. I'm just going to drink wine coolers. It's like, I don't play those type of games because I know if I do, the only person I'm going to be hurting is myself. So there's no room for error. Now, when it comes down to everything else in my life, yeah, of course there's rooms for improvement. You know what I mean? I still have problems with issues with certain things in my character. But it's all right, though. I like when they say it's progress, not perfection. You know what I mean? You don't have to get it all right. But as long as you get it and you consistently strive for it, at least that's what I do. You know? And it doesn't matter how you start either. It's how you finish, you know? And I just plan on finishing strong each and every day. You know what I mean? It's just like, yes, I've been knocked around and shit. It's just like, I'm the poster child for self-inflicted wounds, you know? So I know the dangers, the death behind this disease, you know? How's it constantly, it just constantly F's with you all the time, you know? And it's just like, and it's sad because it's just, I pride myself, no, not pride myself, excuse me, but, you know, I like to think I'm a rational person. But when I was drinking and getting all loaded up, I just wasn't a rational person, you know? I wasn't much of a father, you know? I wasn't much of a good son. I wasn't much of a good friend, you know? Because I became very, very selfish and self-centered and extremely delusional. So you don't go into the woods you don't get lost in the woods for 15 years and come out in 5. So it's a gradual process in changing, you know, and that's what I am. That's what it is with me. It's just like it's just progress each and every day, you know, not perfection. And learning the art of humility, you know, because it's just like, I know no matter what I do, no matter what I accomplish, it doesn't really matter if I don't have my sobriety, because anything I could get, I could easily just lose, you know. So I've always keep my sobriety as number one. Yeah, man, it just, no matter what transpires in my life, good or bad, I just don't drink no matter what, you know. Everything, my sponsor told me this, everything is just, once you stop drinking, everything just becomes a situation. So I'm just like, oh, I get it now. And he's right. It's just a situation. Me having a hard time finding work, just a situation. Everything will eventually just work out as long as you still stick to the process. And that's just what I do. So it's tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Today's day 888 days. Thank you. And you know, in each and every day that passes, I just have to thank God, you know, because a lot of people I know just didn't make it. So I'm just I'm just a one day at a time guy. You know, I don't want to get too caught up into. I definitely don't dwell in the past as much as I used to. You know what I mean? And I don't really get overly concerned about the future. I just live in the moment, in the present. And tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so I know this, you know, family gatherings and all that. The alcohol is going to be all over the place. Trust me, I got a timer in my head, you know. So I got my own little special room I go to. It's the alcohol-free zone, you know. So, but with all that being said, I just want to thank each and one of y'all, including you, Kenny. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pointing right at you. Oh my God. And today, okay, so I'm gonna stop talking. Today's topic could be gratitude or whichever you like. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a tradition. Left.
That was awesome work, Vince.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks for jumping up there.
Oh yeah.
Every time you guys say he's broke.
Funds are low.
Oh, I got a buck left, John. Don't call me cheapy anymore.
Hey,
Look at that, look at that.
Kenny.
That John was saying, show me gravity.